Hey everybody, my name is Trevor.
And la-di-da-di-da, my name's Vincent. Pass me some shrimp. Fuck me in the car.
This is the Anthony and God. This is the Anthony and Todd show, and today we're going to be taking a look at the latest Future record. Future Hndrxx presents The Wizrd.
The Wizrd.
The Wizrd.
What is he? Kid Cudi and Friend?
I think that this could have been a really good, like, medieval type record, but it's just not. I seriously think it could have been really good as, like, a medieval, like, mythical record.
Future playing the flute.
Can you imagine that, like, Future in, like, a knight outfit?
Slaying the evil Gunna.
Thou dost save the princess.
Anyway, Future is a Atlanta hip-hop artist who really came into his own around 2014, 2015, especially with the release of Dirty Sprites 2. He's gone after that to make hits like Jumpin with Drake and Metro Boomin off the album What a Time to Be Alive. And going past that, he's made some like mixtapes. He made like a double album thing in 2016 that was bad, but it had Mask Off, which is like one of his most successful tracks because he was just a giant meme on it. Then he went on The King's Dead last year, which another great example of him being successful at being a giant meme. I feel like sometimes he escapes his own shell and like it tries to be a joke, but like the joke becomes like an actual good performance. So it's like trying to be a meme, but like I only take you seriously as the meme.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's indicative of like what I want out of Future or just Future as a whole.
Basically, what I'm seeing out of Future is it calls to mind this tweet that I read like a week ago, and it was like, aren't you guys tired of Future releasing the same music every 6 months? And I was like, that's really true, because every year Future has like 2 or 3 full-length projects that he releases, and he was like, here you go, and it's the same songs every time.
Yeah,
with the exception of tracks like Mask Off, and the exception of like Jumpman, and the exception of features on like King's Dead
and like 1000 with Nerd.
Yeah, where Future is doing something completely different with artists that he doesn't usually work with, and production that he doesn't usually work with, and it may come off as like a joke, but it actually is like some of his best performances. I will go to my grave believing that King's Dead, like while it's one of the dumbest tracks, is actually some of the best performances in Future and J-Rock's careers thus far. So the Wizrd comes out, and it's under this like weird like cinematic Future universe. The Future Hndrxx presents, like it's some sort of like,
well, this is not the first time he's done this. He did this last year with Juice WRLD with the Future and Juice WRLD present World on Drugs.
Yeah, and I like don't get that, but like,
and also this is only like 5 months after his last record,
right? So obviously, like Future is literally just writing the same song. Like this is even worse production time than Migos, I think. Except I like Future infinitely more than I like Migos.
He's taking our notes that we have for Quavo and being more productive, making like minute-long tracks. He's getting the echelon, because on this we get an hour-plus work, 20 tracks. But somehow he's like coming through with some of his like best solo material to date. I'm not saying this thing's like fantastic or anything, but but
for Future standards,
yeah,
this is like the Dirty Sprite 2 and What a Time to Be Alive, like of the new like Future generation, I guess.
New Future
generation. Dirty Sprite 2 and What a Time to Be Alive, I felt like Future brought a new style of hip-hop into the community, and he was doing something different. This very like lean induced
trap, like dark, like trap,
extremely syrupy dark trap. Literally, when I think of Future, I can only think of like the super dark grape snow cone like.
I just think the Kool-Aid Man busting down my door and said, hey, you want some trap? And I'm like, no, go away, no. Future.
I mean, seriously, though, like, when I think of Future and this, like, syrupy, like, goodness or badness, however you want to take it, I literally only could think of, like, when you make, like, a grape snow cone and you pour that, like, grape flavoring stuff over the ice. That's all I can think of when I think of, like, Future. And that's, I think, pretty indicative of, like, what his music is, really.
Just very syrupy, like too much. Everything's too much.
Yeah, it's like when you eat too much cake and Future offers you like a full chocolate cake, like in that movie Matilda, and the kid has to eat the whole thing. That's Future with his music for me. And except for he just keeps bringing more cake.
No, it's not even that. It's like every bite is the big bite. Every bite is oversaturated.
Yes. But to the actual project of the Wizrd, it's like an hour and a minute long, and Future, in my opinion, is actually delivering some of his best solo work. Whether or not you like, well, I guess that's comparative to the things that Future has already created.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is very callback to Dirty Sprite 2 and What Time to Be Alive. Just like I said, that like syrupy goodness without being too much, like it has been in the past couple of years. There are tracks on here like the opening of like Never Stop and Jumping on a Jet and Crushed Up and F&N. Temptation, yeah.
Also later on with what is it? Faceshot and Going Dummi. I just find to be that's a nice tribute to Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
You snitch.
I feel like Future is just like, I don't think anything that he has to say on here is of any substance really, but his performances here, I think, are like some of his
most
best
energetic and passionate to date. Where
Yeah.
like I feel like he took a minute and had like a moment of clarity, and he's like, "Okay, I know what I must do. I'm gonna stop the lean. I'm gonna get on Adderall now."
No, this feels like he's on more lean than normal.
It seems like he's kind of focused, at
It's
least for Future
less-
standards.
I think it's
when
less
you have negative focus.
cohesive than usual.
But I guess less cohesive for Future standards is like more cohesive because it's backwards. Because
Yeah.
everything he does is backwards.
Well, I mean, Mask Off was not cohesive at all, but it's hilarious. It's great. Jumpman is not cohesive at all, but it's great. But yeah, I think like there are some really like sticky melodies on here. The whole like opening of like Never Stop, it's literally just Future like singing his auto-tune vocals, and it's really catchy. It gets stuck in your head
Over this like very like ambient centered trap beat, which I think is nice. A lot of these beats on here are like very ambient centered too, like just like void like or just like dream like.
And tracks like Crushed Up, that like Diamonds Crushed Up hook on here, infectious. Crazy But True, I already mentioned to you before recording, where he just sounds so like exasperated. He sounds like he ran a marathon. He's like, crazy, but it's true. And he's like just gasping for air, like trying to, these are his last words.
Yeah,
and he's like trying to like convince somebody that something was true and actually happened. And he's like, yeah, I know that sounds like shit, but it actually happened.
Yeah, there's some moments on here where I just find his like auto-tune just be like too much. I think it's like Ain't Coming Back, or I'm just like, go away.
Yeah.
It's too raspy, and like sometimes with the pitching on this album, it's like raspiness just sounds like disgusting. Because it's like it's pitched a little bit, but it's still like raking in that raspiness, and it's just off. It just sounds really weird.
Yeah. While it's definitely like I think really difficult to try to differentiate one track from the next, because obviously like Future's work is very like same. This record I just feel like presents a better soundscape that I want to listen to versus a lot of his other projects.
Yeah. It doesn't make the hour and minute plus worth it.
No, like you could easily have cut that Young Thug and Gunna feature.
Yeah, like all of the features on
get
here.
Travis Scott off of here, definitely not necessary.
Travis Scott, Young Thug, Gunna could have just like gone away, and I think a lot of the time on here it helps that Future doesn't have any features because he doesn't get lost because he has chemistry.
Nobody can talk to him, so
literally the
he'll just
only
do his
person
work.
who has chemistry with him is Lil Wayne. I think I'm coming to accept that because they're just both buzzed out of their minds. So basically, to collaborate with Future, you just need to be like bonkers.
You need to be on the same level as Future to understand Future.
You need to go to the same house party and get the same amount of pre-gaming in before the studio session.
Basically, yeah, Future is constantly just like out of his mind and creates these records that if you like the sounds, then you're golden because it's going to be the same thing. But if you don't, then you're not going to like it because, again, same thing. The Wizrd presents a soundscape that I enjoy, and it's actually not that bad. And so for that, I have to applaud him because I thought that this record was all right.
Yeah.
Like I said, very same throughout, same production, same vocals, same everything. Some kind of like different performances, like I mentioned, like the Never Stop versus Crushed Up versus Crazy But True. But it's a soundscape that I don't mind listening to.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing over and over, but I don't mind listening to it.
Yeah. I think Future does a mostly positive job on here. I think I have mostly positive things to say. It's not
Yeah.
going to be like it's not it's an okay record. It's not like a good record. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that. Until next time, guys, I've been Vincent.
I'm Trevor.
And see you, boys.
Bye, everybody.